So I wanted to redraw a drawing I made back in 2019 where I was in a fandom back then, the Ace Attorney fandom. After I picked out 3 of my old art drawings, I put it on a poll on Instagram for which one and this one won, so let's get started, shall we? I haven't drawn Ace Attorney in a very long time, and I've now noticed Edgeworth's hair is uneven at the top, and this entire time I've been drawing his hair even to the best of my 2019 art abilities. Now, I've been out of the Ace Attorney loop for a few years, so I think this is Edgeworth and Phoenix when they're older from one of the games. I'm sorry, I don't really remember. I also couldn't tell what drink Phoenix was holding, so I had to look it up, and apparently it's grape juice, but in this drawing he's drunk. You know what? It's not alcohol. Headcanons. It was such an embarrassing but joyful experience looking at old art, especially my Ace Attorney days. I have to say, at the time I was in this fandom, it was a lot of fun. I even made a sprite series of me and others OCs. It was mostly like a fun group project. It's very amazing, I do say so myself. Made some friends in the fandom as well. And then I left the fandom or drawing any fan art in general since my love for this game series just faded. But it was more about how I wanted to draw other stuff and improve as an artist and not just draw the same thing over and over, especially when it came to if I was even enjoying what I was drawing. It was fun to see how much my art has changed. This is living proof that we all start somewhere. Just takes a bit, and hell, I'm still improving my art skills. I can't draw backgrounds for shit. I also used to draw Red Dead Redemption fan art right after Ace Attorney. It's funny, I went from a game about law to a game about breaking the law. Maybe that'll be a different video for another time, if I even do it. Now, this drawing was a bit challenging, because I was mostly looking at my old art as a reference here, especially for the pose. I tried to look up what kind of pose it could have been, because he's hanging off from the side, but he's also hanging on to Edgeworth, but Edgeworth is also holding him. And it's like when you know a pose perfectly in your mind, and so you just have to replicate it at the best of your abilities. It may not be anatomically, whatever it's called, accurate, but it's still accurate to the source. Looking back at the old art, it was like a very lack of shading, because I think this was at a point where I was using the airbrush tool on Medibang. Medibang will always be my #1 paint app, okay? It's in my heart. It is never leaving. Now, let me make something clear. I am not saying it's horrible to use airbrush for shading or anything. I was just doing it very bad. But I switched to the watercolor tool on Redrawing, and I've fallen in love with that brush since. I recently got Procreate, and I kind of like Procreate. I'm still getting used to it, but I wish I could import the watercolor brush from Medibang into Procreate, because I love it so much. I don't know, I'm just very used to that brush now. I use it for everything. As you'll see soon, I am in the coloring process, because I just like how it blends. It's just very natural to me. I love it. Now back to Ace Attorney. I will admit this horrible, horrible sin in the Ace Attorney community right now. I'm saying it live. I never watched gameplay or played Apollo Justice, because I was so upset that Phoenix lost his badge, and then we're introduced to this new character. I was like, I don't like him. He's not Phoenix. And then learning the fact that he had an adopted daughter that was abandoned by his client, I don't know. I was like, I can't do this. After seeing a video about it and stuff, I like Apollo. He's a cool little guy. Love him. He gets that Apollo and he justice all over the place. Same with Clavier Gavin, I think that's what his name was. His brother's named Kristoff, and every time I hear Kristoff, I just think of the guy from Frozen, so my bad. But he's also cool because air guitar is awesome. Hell yeah. And the music in this game slaps hard. I recently went back and just looked up the old soundtrack while I was doing my laundry, and I was like, God damn, this is good music. I remember back in middle school, I think I was in middle school when I started drawing Ace Attorney, or early high school. No, it was middle school. I don't remember. My brain is exploding on me right now, and I apologize. Get it? Apologize? Anyway, there was this YouTuber that I still watch named Cub Scouts that played the game, and I was like, wow, this is an interesting game. And I discovered it had an anime, and I watched the anime instead of watching gameplay. And I actually recently watched the first episode, and I was like, wow, this is nostalgic. I remember watching this back in 2019, 2020. Oh God, 2020. But thanks to that Cub Scouts video, I was introduced into a lovely and welcoming community, and just created art, had fun, and left with peace. Thank you for whoever stayed this long to hear me yap about some parts of Ace Attorney. It's absolutely scattered. I didn't have this scripted at all. I'm just like speaking from the heart here. But thank you so much for watching, and here's the final product. I have to say, Dahlia Hawthorne is scary as a character, but this art piece just made her worse. This just made her terrifying. She has only one eye. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. I would too if I looked like that.